Hi, welcome to SPR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing the main card of UFC 182. We're talking right now with Nick Kalikas from MMAOddsBreaker.com. Nick Kalikas, of course, is an MMA odds maker, and he opens lines for the UFC, every UFC card, and he consults for numerous high-profile sports books. And also joining us over the phone is Adam Martin, an MMA analyst, also with MMAOddsBreaker.com. All right, guys, Kyoji Horiguchi and Louis Gaudinot, and two up-and-coming flyweights. Obviously, Horiguchi, very exciting, ton of hype and excitement surrounding him, but Gaudinot is no slouch, and the line is enormous, right? Horiguchi minus 750 right now is the line at 5 dimes, Gaudinot plus 525 on the other side, and the question is, has Horiguchi done enough to warrant this kind of a favorite line? Adam Martin, what do you think?
It's pretty high, no doubt about it. Minus 800 is no joke, but I do feel like he has. I think he's looked absolutely sensational in the UFC. I think this guy could be a title contender at 125. I think the UFC, they want him to break out. They're putting him on this pay-per-view card in the United States. I don't think he really has fought in the U.S. He fought like once, I think, in the U.S. They really want him to get, I think, a high-profile win here. And Gaudinot, like you said, he's no slouch, but he's not great. He really isn't. He's like 1-2 and 1 no contest in the UFC. He has a nice guillotine choke, but overall, he's been getting beat up in like almost all of his fights in the UFC. Like Johnny Bedford beat him up bad. Tim Elliott beat him up bad, took him down. He's very small. Even for flyweight, he's small. I mean, this guy could probably make 115 if they had a division there for the men at 115. He's just so tiny. Horiguchi obviously is a small guy too, but he's just got so much knockout power. Last fight, that body kick, that was just ridiculously nasty. He throws a nasty body kick in all his fights, but that was really impressive. In his first fight in the UFC, he knocked out Dustin Page at a higher weight class at 135. He just looked sensational at 125. Beat Darren Montague up really bad in that fight too. I've been nothing but impressed with this guy. I think he, like I said, could be a next title contender at 125. Like you said, Gaudinot he's a tough guy. He hangs in there. He has a win over John Lineker. John Lineker is one of the guys that is fighting for a title shot right now. Currently, he's one of the top 5 guys in the world. So, I mean, that's no joke. That's a great win. But, again, it was a fight where he was getting destroyed and then all of a sudden got that choke. I think that's really his only way of winning, that guillotine choke. He has a really good one. He can jump from, like, just jump into it, basically, like, in the middle of the ring. It's kind of crazy how he does it and just grab your neck and take you down and submit you. So that would be the only way I think he wins, because otherwise I think Horiguchi keeps us standing and just lights him up with strikes, and I think he gets a stoppage here. So I really like Horiguchi in this fight. Obviously, the line is too high, but I think the prop here under 2.5 rounds at pick'em price minus 110. I think that's really good value. I think there's a finish. I think there's a finish in this fight for sure. It's actually probably my favorite bet on the card.
Really?
Under 2.5. I think the line is close because it's a flyweight fight, and people figure, oh well, it's 125. There's not much power, but Horiguchi does have knockout power. And again, if he loses, it will be by submission. It won't be by decision. Gaudinot, again, he's a tough guy. Maybe he can hang in there for 3 rounds, but I doubt it. I like under 2.5 here.
Right now, under 2.5 is minus 105 at 5 dimes. All right, Nick Kalikas, you're the king of calling out these enormous favorite lines as being too high on the grounds that anything can happen in MMA. Is this one of those fights, or is this a justified line?
No, Adam's exactly right. I think here it's definitely justified. I opened at minus 600. And they bet it up. So that tells you something. I'm glad I opened it that high, because at first glance, you're thinking to yourself, man, that seems a little high. But you know what? Really, stylistically, how does Gaudinot win this fight? I don't really see it unless, like Adam said, he catches that guillotine choke that he is pretty good on doing from time to time. But, I mean, Horiguchi, I think, defensively is pretty solid in that area. I think he has the overall ground advantage, actually. But even on the feet, I mean – Horiguchi's a beast. I mean, the speed, the power, the ability to just, control the tempo of the fight. I just don't see how Gaudinot can win this fight. If it hits the scorecards, he's going to lose a clear decision, I think. I mean, a decision that judges can't even kind of mess up. They're that bad, but I think it'd be decisive enough that, they can't really mess this one up. And there could be a stoppage. And if there is a stoppage, I agree, it's probably Horiguchi stopping Gaudinot. And I think that he is a legit title contender. I mean, he's not going to be an easy fight. I mean, Mighty Mouse is the man. We all know that. I mean, he's so well-rounded. Doesn't seem like anybody's ready for him. But this is an interesting matchup. I mean, if you stuck Horiguchi in there, I think Horiguchi can definitely cause some problems for a guy even like Mighty Mouse. So you know, get a couple more fights under his belt, and then we could see Horiguchi fighting for the title shot. To me, Gaudinot is kind of fighting to keep his job here in the UFC, and he's almost on the way out the door. And again, I do have respect for him. I think he's a talented fighter, especially in his stand-up skill as well. I think Gaudinot, he's a tough guy. He's got a ton of heart. He's a little bit underrated in the striking department. He's just outclassed here, and I think, you know, he's on the way out the door. And Horiguchi, on the other hand, the UFC kind of made this matchup because they want to get him an impressive win, probably in a highlight reel type of fashion, and, you know, kind of bump him towards the title shot. So you got a legit title contender going against a guy that's not even quite a gatekeeper, I think, in this spot. So, yeah, that's why you're seeing the line so high. Unfortunately, the sports books are probably going to lose on this fight with all the parlay action and everything. Right. Hopefully it's not too bad. I mean, they're going to keep on continuing to increase the line as they get closer to try to draw some dog action, because there will be some dog action for sure here on this fight as well. So I don't think it'd be that bad, but this is probably a fight, one of those cases that you can't avoid, but probably take a loss because the favorite's more than likely going to come through here.
Sounds like the under 2.5 rounds that Adam Martin is completely right. That might be a great bet. What do you think, Nick?
I hate unders, to be honest with you. I think that he's right. Chances are it probably does finish inside because Horiguchi's that amazing, really, and I mean, and is that capable of finishing fights. But Gaudinot is a tough guy, and again, I'm a little tentative because when you think that a fight, a lot of times you think a fight, it's a no-brainer, it's going to go under. A lot of times you're wrong, and it surprises you, and it does go over. So I'm not a big fan of betting unders, especially laying juice. But since it's 105, it's basically, you know, near pick'em type of price or so. There could very well be some value there.
Okay, Adam Martin, does anything Nick just said throw you off of the under?
I just feel like it's like a decent price. I feel like it should be like. I think there should be more juice on it, because if you look at the props, like Horiguchi inside the distance, just Horiguchi is minus 102. I mean, you can't even get a Gaudinot win there. With the under 2.5, you're protected against possible like submission by Gaudinot. Again, I don't think that happens, but it could. I just like when you see a fight like this where there's a guy so highly favored. I mean, oftentimes there is a finish in a kind of situation. So that's why I lean under. But again, you know, it's MMA. Anything could happen. But I think at the price, there's definitely value on the under 2.5.
Yeah, I really like your reasoning, Adam Martin. Thanks, guys. Great preview.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.